If you're an artist and you've been posting your work, trying different platforms, maybe you have an Etsy, maybe you tried Redbubble, maybe you're on Instagram, and you're doing everything you're supposed to do, and you're still not making consistent money from your art, I need to walk you through something that would have saved me 2 years of my life. Because 2.5 years ago, I graduated with an art degree. I applied to over 500 jobs and didn't get a single interview, and I spent a year and a half at my parents' house feeling like I completely wasted my life. Because when I was in college, I was severely addicted to video games, and I graduated with nothing but a capstone project that nobody cared about. And I remember sitting there thinking, what was the point of all of this? Did I make the wrong choice? And if that's you right now and you're in that place where you see the potential in yourself but nothing's working, I need you to understand that you didn't fail. The path you were put on was never designed to work for most artists. And here's what I mean. There's only a few paths that artists are told to follow. And the first path is what most artists are pushed down since high school. Go to college, get a degree, and then get a job at a studio or an agency. But those jobs are disappearing. Entry-level positions are getting 500 applications, and AI is eating those junior roles first. And even if you do get hired, you're completely dependent on someone else's decision to keep paying you. Path 2 is the gallery route, and the data on this is brutal. Only about 0.5 to 2% of artists make a full-time income from galleries, and they take about a 40 to 50% commission. And the main thing is that you need connections that most people don't have. And it ends up kind of feeling like applying to jobs all over again, which leaves most artists in path 3 after they can't find a job in the industry, which is the content creator route, where you basically post on Instagram, on TikTok, build a following, and eventually the sales will come. But here's what nobody tells you. The algorithm is serving your art to other artists, not to buyers. You can have 100,000 followers and no sales because your audience is just people who appreciate your art, but not people who buy it. And every single one of these paths have the same problem. You're dependent on someone's platform and algorithm, and you have no control. So after I got rejected from every job I applied to, I finally stopped asking who's gonna hire me, and I started asking, how can I create my own income? And that's when everything changed. I stopped trying to crack the TikTok algorithm, I stopped applying to jobs that didn't exist, and I started learning how actual e-commerce businesses work. Not art businesses, but e-commerce businesses. Because if you're selling anything online, you're in the e-commerce game, whether you like it or not. And over the next 2.5 years, I was able to build a multiple six-figure art business. And it's not because I'm more talented than you. I just learned the business side that nobody teaches. And what I figured out through my own experience is that there's actually a predictable path, not some overnight success story, but an actual step-by-step progression that takes you from where you are now to making consistent income with your art. And it starts with validation, going where buyers exist instead of trying to build an audience on your own, and learning what actually sells before you invest months building a website that nobody visits. Then it moves to building assets you actually own, your own website, your own email list, things that can't be taken away from you when an algorithm changes. And once you have that foundation, everything else becomes optional. Content creation actually makes sense because you're driving traffic to a proven product, and paid ads become possible because you have something that converts. But most artists never see this full picture. They're stuck on step 1 trying to crack the Instagram algorithm, while artists who understand this are building something that compounds. So I spent the last month and a half putting together a complete roadmap that walks you through every single stage of this, from zero to sustainable income, where you should start, what order you should do things in, and what mistakes to avoid at each phase. And I'm actually going to give it away for free because I feel like every artist should have this resource, and you can grab it in the link to my bio. I just want you to actually see the full path so you can